Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy RJ, and this is Psa Clips. And today we're going to talk about Bill Cosby. This is just a sad story. Now, if those don't know, I did a podcast about this whole Bill Cosby situation where I was talking about how can someone remember 30 years, what happened to them 30 years ago, And it's people are divided. People are saying, this is some bullshit. People are saying, he did it and all that shit. But I'm like, the evidence is evidence. He did come out and say he gave girls quaaludes without their permission. So that kind of makes him guilty. But there's still a lot to be told in this story. And I'm not a I don't believe in conspiracies. I'm not that type of guy, but someone sent me a meme basically going into detail of what Bill Cosby was trying to do before all this shit happened. He was trying to buy CBS, one of the biggest fucking networks in America. He was trying to buy CBS. He had the money. The deal was going down, actually, from what I hear. The deal was going down for CBS. And he was going to open it up for a lot of black folks. He was going to make it where a lot of black folks can be on TV and do their thing. He was trying to open the avenues for black folks because there's not really that many avenues out there for these networks, especially networks like CBS. And from what I was reading into was that the deal was almost final, and this came out of nowhere. Women started coming out of nowhere around this time saying that Bill Cosby raped them. And like I said, I'm not into conspiracies, but it just seems a little fishy that around the time where Bill Cosby's about to buy one of the biggest networks, he's being charged with rape by many different women who are saying that he did this 30 years ago. There's no recent cases on Bill Cosby raping women. It's 30 years, 30, 20 years back. And they were like, oh, well, they tried to go and tell on him 30 years ago, but because he was Bill Cosby, nobody believed him. Which, if you look at it, 30 years ago, if someone was coming out saying Bill Cosby raped them 30 years ago, I'm pretty sure motherfuckers would have been jumping on that shit. Bill Cosby might be a prominent figure, but he's not God, And, he was one of the most positive black men in show business at this time. So this could have gave them the chance to bring down one of our most positive black figures if it was true that he was raping chicks. Now, I'm not going to say and deny and say it's not true. I'm not going to say it is true because I don't know the facts. I don't know what happened. All I'm saying is it sounds a little fishy, and I wish people would just read into the shit. Like, they're trying to destroy the man's legacy. They won't play none of this man's TV series on like, nobody plays the Cosby Show. Like, if you look at it, TV Land doesn't play Cosby's. Nobody plays the Cosby's, but yet and still, which is a fucking crime that I'm about to mention. It is a crime to sleep with a woman knowing that you have HIV and you do not tell them that you have HIV. It's a fucking crime. Yet and still, 2.5 Men is on TV constantly. Like, there's not a time I don't see 2.5 Men on fucking TV. So Charlie Sheen has been committing all types of fucking crimes. Basically came out and said, yeah, I fucking did it. And no one's going, hold up, dude. You can't do that. That's a crime right there. That's attempted murder. We're going to have to arrest you for this. So I think it's real bias. That's what's going on. It's fucking bias. You know, all these fucking places that Bill Cosby donated money and they gave him, you know, all types of degrees and shit, they're taking the degrees back. Like, oh, we're taking that back. But they won't give Bill Cosby his money back. I look at it like, if you're going to take the man degrees back, then you also need to be handing that check over. Like, oh, yeah, here's your money, by the way. We don't want your money. But none of the colleges are doing that. They're keeping the money, but saying, hey, we want the degree back. And I'm like, fuck that, man. You know, he gave you all that fucking money. You should be handing that money back, too. But, I don't know. I just feel like it's very convenient that this man is about to buy NBC, and then all of a sudden he's being charged with rape. And he's been arrested. For those who don't know, they just took him in custody and arrested him. So he's being arrested right now. And like I said, if he did it, you know, he's a scumbag. He deserves to go to jail. Whatever happens to him happens. If he didn't do it, I really, really hope that we as Americans get over it and forgive him and arrest the broads that said that he raped them, because they need to go to jail, and that he should be allowed to continue buying NBC if he can prove that he's fucking innocent. I really believe that the broads that said that he committed these crimes should go to jail and do the same amount of time he would do. So, and he's 82 years old, man. You know, if he's convicted, he's gonna die in jail. You know, so it's just weird. I mean, I think he's 80. I think he's 79. Sorry, I think he's 79. He's about to be 80. Sorry, I gave him an extra couple of years, but he does look like he's 82. But I really think that we need to sit back and just look at this shit and find out for sure if Bill Cosby committed these crimes. I mean, like I said, he did admit to giving women Quaaludes. So I don't know if that goes as far as saying, yep, I raped them. I mean, giving a woman a Quaalude and not touching her isn't rape. You know, you just gave her a drug. You can be charged with giving someone drugs without their permission. I don't know what that crime would be called. But it's just very, very, it's just very convenient. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's a lot of convenience in this whole shit. You know, because I didn't know the whole story until, you know, I read into it about, and I didn't just read a meme. I read a meme that got me to investigate this whole thing and read into it on another level. And he was literally, the deal was final. Like, the deal is no longer going through, but the deal was final. He was buying CBS. Sorry, I said NBC. But he was buying CBS. He was literally buying CBS. So he was about to make one of the biggest purchases in the world and buy CBS. So, like I said, it's very convenient that all of a sudden, when the deal is almost finalized, out of nowhere, women are saying he raped them. Like I said, I don't believe in conspiracies, but I do believe in coincidence. And this is just big because it's just weird that this guy's about to do one of the biggest purchases, and then all of a sudden, it was like a couple of days after he was about to do one of the biggest purchases by an African American, that women started coming out saying Bill Cosby raped me. So it's just weird. But like I said, if he did the crime, that's great, but you can't take away from the man's legacy. And that's what we're doing right now. And we don't take away from anybody else's legacy when they do bad. Well, we don't take away from anybody's legacy if they're a white person. You know what I mean? And that's just the truth. Although a lot of people don't want to hear this shit, it's the fucking truth. You know, Charlie Sheen had sex with women and did not tell them he was HIV positive. And yet still he doesn't get arrested. or none of that shit. Women have came out and said this guy is fucking a despicable human being. Matter of fact, Brie Olsen, who was a former porn star, came out and said she didn't know he had HIV. And they was having unprotected sex. And called him a disgusting bastard. But let me guess, she's a porn star, so you can't take her word for it. You know what I mean? You know, that's what American logic is. So, you know, she's a porn star. She could be lying. You know, and it wasn't just her. It was other women that came out and said, look, around the time this man had HIV, we had unprotected sex. And he did not tell me he had HIV. Yet still no charges has been against this guy or none of that shit. Why isn't that? You know, if we can sit here and bring up charges against Bill Cosby, which, you know, rape is a disgusting crime, so by all means, if he did it, he deserves to go to jail. But we don't bring up charges against a man who is being proven that has slept with women and did not tell them he had HIV. Where's the charges bringing up against Charlie Sheen? And I like Charlie Sheen. I think, you know, regardless of how crazy this man is, he's made some good movies. He's had some good TV shows. I loved fucking, what's the fucking show? Anger Management. I was a fan of fucking Anger Management. I watched Anger Management like it was nothing. That shit was hilarious to me. But, and I like 2.5 Men. But at the end of the day, if he committed a crime, he should be getting the same fucking treatment that Bill Cosby is getting right now. And he's not. And the only thing I could clearly see between the two is that one's white, one's black. You know what I mean? They're both crimes. They both committed crimes. You know what I mean? Yes, the crimes are different, so please do not put underneath this video and comment and say, well, they were two different types of crimes. They're both fucking crimes, and they're both despicable crimes. So at the end of the fucking day, Charlie Sheen should be brought up on some fucking charges. And his show shouldn't be played on TV. But they're still playing. Anger Management is still played on FX. 2.5 Men is played on CBS, you know, TBS, Spike TV, like you name it, 2.5 Men has been played on it. TV Land plays 2.5 Men. So, at the end of the fucking day, both men committed crimes, but one man is being charged. And you can't find the Cosby Show anywhere. So, I don't know. I just feel like this whole thing is just it's too convenient. Like, this shit just came out of nowhere. Right around the time this man is about to make one of the biggest purchases for an African American. So, that's all I got to say. You can take my words and do whatever you want. And for those out there that's saying if I support Bill Cosby or that I am making people think about what's going on, that I support rape, that's not true. I hate rape. I think rape is one of the most disgusting crimes in America. But at the end of the day, doesn't mean I gotta be an idiot and not sit here and pay attention to shit and realize what's going on and make sure things are on the up and up. Because like I said, he was about to make one of the biggest purchases in television history for an African American, and all of a sudden now he's being brought up on rape charges. So it's just very convenient. So anyway, that's all I got to say about that. You guys have a wonderful night. Happy New Year's to everybody if I haven't said it already. You know, because today is New Year's. So Happy New Year's to everybody, and peace.